What do you think about this, John? And also, do you think there is this concern that Russia could just be biding its time, restock its weapons and launch an attack again?
Yeah, to put it very simply, and I do agree with Tim, it requires American hard power. It requires the threat of the use of American hard power for there to be a deal. If that threat is taken off the table by Trump, and he hasn't taken it off the table, but if he does, then fundamentally Putin's position hasn't really changed. I mean, he can keep grinding out this war probably longer than Ukrainians can. So if American hard power isn't on the table, I don't think there will be a breakthrough.
And also, Tim, what do you think about this peacekeeping force led by the Europeans? How would this work?
Well, it doesn't have a long and glorious history. If you'll remember the breakup of Yugoslavia, that required American first willpower and then air power, the willingness to deploy troops on the ground, while Europeans at best picked up the pieces. Peace in Europe since the Second World War has required the application of the projection of American military power across the Atlantic. It's difficult to see how this situation is fundamentally different to the one that have obtained before. These styles of war that Russia fights, they generally have about a 4-year duration. If you think of the First World War, the Second World War, and then there is a peace, but it's a peace if it's going to favour the forces of democracy, it is going to require a US president willing to backtrack on some of his more MAGA claims and actually deploy some troops, either minimally as some sort of tripwire or to have the implicit threat, a military threat, to Putin if Putin violates the terms of the agreement. So, yes, John is right. There is no peace. There is no democracy. It's contingent. It's proportional to America's willingness to act.
Which has, of course, been the concern in the past because there's been such pressure on Trump from the MAGA movement to just, abandon Ukraine, I suppose. But I also want to just turn to, finally, before we go, the upcoming meeting between Zelensky and Putin. This is high risk, isn't it, just having the two of them in a room?
It's high risk if Zelensky has not been given that American backing of hard power that we keep on going about. If Zelensky goes in there cold, it could end quite badly for him. But I can only imagine that Zelensky is a smart guy. He wouldn't go into this meeting if he didn't at least have the verbal assurances by Trump and the Europeans that Western hard power is behind his negotiating position.
All right. John Lee, Tim Lynch, thank you both so much for your insights. Really appreciate it.